you ever want to have a special dessert to a family gathering or social event, make a trifle. A trifle consists of 3 layers of brownies, chocolate pudding, Cool Whip, Heath bars, and on top, a chocolate drizzle.
In order to make this one-of-a-kind dessert, you are going to need a lot of materials. First, you need to make the brownies. In order to make them, you are going to need any brownie mix of your choice, a 13x9 baking container, 2 eggs, a measuring cup, at least 1 cup, 2/3 cups oil, and 1/4 cup water. For the trifle as a whole, you are going to need some additional ingredients. A 6-pack of chocolate pudding, the large container of Cool Whip, a big bag of mini Heath bars, a mallet, a plastic bag, a holding container for the trifle, chocolate syrup, 3 tablespoons, and a whisk. To make the brownies, you will need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for a metal or glass pan. Coat the bottom of the pan with non-stick cooking spray. Combine brownie mix, water, oil, and eggs in large bowl and stir 50 strokes with the whisk. Spread into the pan. Bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 28 to 31 minutes. The brownies are going to be very hot, so we will need to wait about 10 minutes to cool. Now that all the brownies are cooled down, we will begin to cut them into squares. They should be about 2 inches by 3 inches. We will continue this process until all the brownies are divided equally. After you have completely divided all the brownies, you will put a layer of brownies on the bottom of the container, making sure that there is as small of a space between them as possible, and make sure to not overlap the brownies. Tip: put all the edges of the brownies on the corner of the container. Now you apply the Cool Whip using a tablespoon and spread it evenly to cover all the brownies. Tip: put 4 huge tablespoons on each hemisphere of the container, and then spread until you can no longer see any of the brownies. Add 2 cups of chocolate pudding using a tablespoon and try to divide them evenly and sparingly. Now you will begin the long process of unwrapping the Heath bars and crushing them. Tip: make sure the Heath bars are not crumbs, but not huge chunks either. Once you have completed this process, you will use your 3rd tablespoon and begin covering the chocolate pudding with Heath bars. We now finish the chocolate drizzle. Do 4 lines of chocolate syrup and then cross these lines with 3 more to top it all off. Cover with plastic or container and keep it in the fridge overnight. Once it is cold from being left in the fridge overnight, you can now eat it. So now you've learned how to make a trifle. And the trifle is the perfect dessert to bring to any family gathering or event.
So it's a new day and you have just left your trifle in the fridge overnight. So let's go check on it. Well, one thing the recipe forgot to say is you're supposed to add a lot to the fridge so your siblings don't get to it. Thankfully, there's still enough for me. Now that's trifle.